Today, we're going to break down one of the most popular ways to get things done, Scrum. And believe it or not, we're going to explain it all by planning a dinner party. It's going to make so much sense. Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? You've got this massive project, this huge goal, but the to-do list is just endless. You don't even know where to begin. It's like being asked to plan a giant banquet for hundreds of people all by yourself. Well, what Scrum does is it helps turn that overwhelming banquet into a series of fun, totally manageable dinner parties. All right, so let's get right to it. What exactly is this Scrum thing? And how is it like a recipe? Okay, so the official definition calls it an agile framework for delivering value in uncertain environments, which, sounds a little complicated. All it really means in our kitchen is that it's a recipe for teamwork. It's perfect for when you're not 100% sure what your guests are going to love, so it helps you figure it out as you cook. Scrum is built on 3 really simple ideas. Think of them as the rules of the kitchen. First up, transparency. This just means the recipe book is open on the counter for everyone on the team to see. No secret ingredients, no hidden steps. Second, we have inspection. We are constantly tasting the soup as it simmers, right? And that leads to the third pillar, adaptation. If the soup is too salty, you fix it right then and there. You don't wait until the guests are at the table to find out something's wrong. So every great dinner party needs a great crew working behind the scenes. In Scrum, there are 3 key roles. Let's meet them. First, we have the product owner. The best way to think of this person is as the host of the party. Their main job is to understand the guests and decide what goes on the menu to make them absolutely delighted. Are we doing a casual taco night or a fancy French dinner? The host is accountable for making sure that whatever we serve, it's a huge hit. Next up, the developers. Now, this is your amazing kitchen crew. They're the chefs, the prep cooks, the bakers. They are the cross-functional experts who have all the skills to actually make the meal happen. See, the host decides what to make, but this awesome crew gets together and figures out how to cook it all to perfection. They're the self-managing pros. And finally, there's the Scrum Master. Think of this person as the maitre d' of the restaurant. They aren't deciding the menu and they aren't cooking the food, but their job is absolutely critical. They make sure the kitchen runs smoothly, that everyone has what they need, and if the oven suddenly breaks, they're the one who swoops in to get it fixed so the crew can keep on cooking. They're there to serve the team and protect the process. Okay, so we've got our team, we know who's who, but how do they actually get the work done? Well, Scrum has this very specific rhythm, this steady beat that keeps everything moving forward at a predictable pace. And that beat is called the sprint. A sprint is just a short, fixed-length cycle of work, usually between 1 and 4 weeks long. The easiest way to remember it? A sprint is one complete dinner party. From the moment you decide on the menu all the way to washing that last dish, that's one sprint. And as soon as it's over, you get ready to start the next one. So, inside each dinner party, each sprint, there are 5 key events. First, you've got sprint planning. That's when the whole team gets together to choose the menu for this party. Then, every single morning, you have the daily scrum. It's a super quick 15-minute huddle for the kitchen crew to sync up on the day's cooking plan. Then, of course, there's the work itself. After the cooking is done, you have the sprint review. This is the fun part. You serve the dishes to your guests and get their feedback. And finally, after the party's over, the team holds a sprint retrospective. This is where the crew talks about what went well and what they can do to make the next dinner party even better. All right, a good kitchen crew needs the right tools to stay organized. I mean, you can't just keep all those recipes and shopping lists in your head, right? In Scrum, these tools are called artifacts. So there are 2 big ones you need to know about. First is the product backlog. This is like the restaurant's master cookbook. It has every single dish you could ever imagine making for any party, all in one big ordered list. Then you have the sprint backlog. This is much smaller. It's not the whole cookbook, it's just this week's menu. It's the specific list of dishes the kitchen crew has committed to making for this dinner party. So, after all that planning and cooking, what do you actually have? You have an increment. And an increment is simply a finished dish. It's not half-baked, it's not just a pile of ingredients. It is a complete, tested, delicious piece of the meal that is ready to be served and enjoyed by your guests. It's a real, tangible piece of value. But how do you know for sure that a dish is truly ready to go out to the table? Well, it has to meet the team's definition of done. Think of this as the final quality checklist that everyone agrees on. Is it cooked to the right temperature? Check. Is it plated beautifully? Check. Does it have the right garnish? Check. If a dish doesn't tick every single box on that list, it simply isn't done and it cannot be served. So you might be asking, why go through all this trouble? Why plan all these little dinner parties instead of just one giant banquet? Well, it turns out this recipe for teamwork has some pretty huge advantages. There are 3 really key benefits. First, you get food on the table way faster. You're serving complete, delicious dishes every couple of weeks, not just once at the very end. Second, your guests are happier because they get to taste things early and give you feedback. Maybe they want things a little spicier next time. Great, you can adapt. And third, the quality is so much higher. Since you're tasting and checking things constantly, you avoid that big, messy disaster at the end. So really, here's the bottom line. Scrum isn't about creating a perfect, rigid plan and following it for a year. It's about breaking down really complex problems into small, manageable cycles. It's all about delivering real value, getting real feedback, and then adapting your plan based on what you learned. One dinner party, one sprint at a time. And that pretty much wraps up our little dinner party. So now I have a question for you. When you look at your own work or your personal projects, what's one big, overwhelming goal that you could break down into a simple 2-week dinner party? What could you actually finish, get feedback on, and improve in your next sprint?